On December 24, 2025, Corporal Rodes of Zebulon PD was asked by Griffin PD to stop one of their marked patrol units. The driver was Officer Travis Weldon, suspected of driving while possibly intoxicated. The detention was handled professionally, raising questions about interagency cooperation and officer accountability.
How we doing?
Good.
What's up, man? Got your driver's license with you? Where's your sidearm at?
Oh, it's over here in the seat.
Okay. What's your name? Mr. Weldon. All right. Well, hop on back here and talk to me. I'll explain to you what's going on, okay?
All right.
I'm Corporal Rodes. I work for Zebulon. Run to my car for me.
604.
Go ahead. Right there.
The lieutenant I was on the phone with said to use 10-0. Please to detain them. They have a unit on the way.
Put your hands behind your back.
All right.
Don't do nothing stupid, 'cause we ain't Griffin down here, brother. Devoid 95. Dude, what the hell you got going on? Who's your lieutenant?
Well, Kelton just called me, but I hadn't called him back yet.
Okay. Well, I worked for Griffin PD for 4.5 years, man. All right, so that's why I'm asking you, what the hell do you got going on for them to call me? Call my dispatch for me to pull you over. Yeah, I don't know, how long you been in the game of law enforcement?
No, a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to let you know you are in a marked car, government vehicle, lieutenant has stopped. I don't need probable cause, okay?
I understand.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some bigger cuffs for you so I can take them hinge ones off of you. Give me no problems. I'm explaining to you, this ain't Griffin down here. Okay?
I'm not giving you problems.
You got a mess, man.
I know. Evidently, I got blackout drunk last night.
Well, here's the deal. You ain't got nothing with me. And I ain't got no dealings with you. This is between you and Griffin. Where you live at? Thomas?
I was headed home.
Did they send you the mandate? Griffin send you the mandate?
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
That's my wallet. Those are earbuds.
Yeah, I can feel them.
Oh, shit. I had gone up to work. I was gonna, I don't know, I was trying to figure out what to do. Evidently, I don't remember it, but evidently I guess I was trying to get my wife's daughter to go back to bed, and she was getting up, and I was trying to keep her quiet so she wouldn't wake Mom up. And
Come here. I don't want nobody to see your face. There you go. Just lean right there. I'm listening to you.
604, status.
You hold him. I'm listening.
And I guess I don't really remember much of anything, but I guess I was a little too excessive. I've been sick. And I've been taking all this medicine, and I guess drinking wasn't the
Yeah, man.
best thing, because I guess it mixed with the medicine. And I don't know, because I don't remember much.
And you live in Thomason?
Yeah.
So where did all this happen at?
At the house last
How much
night.
have you had to drink today?
I haven't had anything. Well, I mean, I was sipping, I guess, what was left of the rum and coke this morning, but that was like...
What time's your shift?
Huh?
What time's your shift?
Oh, I'm off.
So...
I just threw this shirt on because I was going to go up to work, and I was thinking about talking to somebody, and I went up to work and just sat there, and then I decided I was going to go home, and cause I hadn't talked to my wife, so I don't know what's going on. She went over to my mom's house. And I was going to go home and call Lieutenant Kelton because he had called me, and I was going to go and get to the house and sit down and talk to him. So that's what I was headed home to talk to him because he wasn't at work, but he was calling me.
Do you know who this is in a white car?
I have no idea.
You good? Can I help you? Yeah. Yeah, there you are. That's why I said put your back right there. They don't need to see your face. Zebulon PD got a Griffin marked car pulled over and you're in handcuffs, so of course that's going to make hoping they can get good Facebook coverage, I'm assuming. That's why I moved you. Well, whatever happens, just know it's not the end of your career. You made a mistake. Whatever Griffin's got going on, you know, that's between you and Griffin.
I don't know why Griffin's. I guess maybe. I have no idea. I really don't.
I don't know, brother. If they got one on the way to you, it's probably going to be about 25, 30 minutes. So I'm assuming you left the PD before you even talked to anybody then.
Yeah.
And then they knew you were there and then...
They probably, I mean, they tracked the vehicles.
Oh yeah, I know. They put them on there when I was there. Due to some people. Well, get whatever this is behind you and keep on pushing forward, brother. If this is a career you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know.
I don't know what's ahead of you either, but at the same time, you know, there's a process to everything. So, you got to remember that. Of course, right now, from what it seems like, what's going to get you is probably policy.
Yeah.
But I've never put anybody in handcuffs on a policy before, so I ain't trying to make your gut turn, but I've been doing this a long time.
I had pretty much cut out alcohol, but I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and had a head cold, and it just made me feel like shit, and I just was like, I need a drink, and I went and bought a bottle of rum last night, drank the whole bottle.
Well, I can give you, best piece of advice I can give you when you get done is hang that shit up.
Yeah. And like, I
ain't nothing wrong with drinking. You're an adult, you can do whatever you want. But if it starts affecting how you pay your mortgage, that's, you know, then there's kind of a problem. Ain't nothing against the law, so you can't have you a drink, but you gotta do it responsibly. I ain't knocking you for it. Hell, I ain't even mad at you. Let's go hit this head on. Best piece of advice I can give you in this line of work is if you get brought in for some shit, just tell the truth. I promise you, if you done something wrong and you lied, and I was the IA investigator and you lied to me, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you out of there. If you tell the truth and you're open and honest about it, then great. So show that's part of your integrity. Just hit it head on. That's the only advice I can give you, man. They'll appreciate the, hey, I fucked up more than they would, you know, you trying to make it seem like it ain't shit.
I don't understand why Griffin's coming to get me.
I don't know. They want me to stop you. I mean, they said you may be drunk. At first I thought they wanted me just to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, with you being in that marked car, I'm not going to work it. I would call a trooper.
Yeah. No. Definitely not me.
So whatever it is clearly internal, but I mean, you want my knowledge, training, and experience answer, you're in handcuffs for a reason. I don't know if they thought maybe you'd fight, flee, or whatever. They said use caution, but I mean, I get told that a lot. It's a whole different world down here.
It's gotten to where I used to drink heavy, and I had stopped. And but it's gotten to where, like, it don't take that much before, I don't know if my liver's shot, but, like, I black out, and I don't remember shit.
I might need to go to the doctor and get that checked, brother.
Yeah.
Because you're how old?
49.
And you have any health problems? Have you had any?
Not
major?
Nothing major.
Well, I can tell you at age 27, I had a heart attack. 3 of them.
Damn.
Yeah. They just rolled up, so let me talk to them.
Rodes approaches, explains the reason, orders Weldon out, and handcuffs him for safety. Weldon complies fully. The stop is lawful under Terry versus Ohio, based on Griffin PD information. Handcuffing is reasonable given the armed subject and possible intoxication. Weldon admits drinking a full bottle of rum the night before mixed with cold medicine and blacking out. He says he may have been a little too excessive with his stepdaughter. Rodes listens calmly and advises honesty and quitting alcohol to protect his career. Rodes moves Weldon out of view of a bystander filming, then hands him over smoothly to Griffin officers. No strong alcohol smell, no DUI tests, as this was internal. Interagency cooperation was handled correctly.
All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to transport him in his own car to Hudson County and hand him over to a detective. Are those your cuffs on him?
Those are mine, yeah.
Do you smell any alcohol on him?
Not really. Of course, I ain't really got that close. I just kind of walked up to the window and said, "Hey, man, how you doing? You got your license?" And then they dispatch advised, put him in handcuffs. So I said, "Hop on out, walk to the front of my car." Went in and cuffed him. And then this dude over here showed up to film, so I moved him to this side of my car with his back.
Who is this?
I have no idea. Someone just filming. First Amendment people, I'm assuming. Well, I mean, you know, you got a marked car, stopping a marked car, putting a cop in handcuffs. So, but no, I haven't smelled anything, and that's kind of where I was at with it. Like, I didn't know if y'all wanted me to try to work a DUI out of it, or
Did you got any probable cause for it? How was he
not.
driving?
He was driving fine in the right lane, but he was in the middle of two cars, going like 55.
Gotcha.
Of course, I didn't have time to really watch him as far as like his beeping and bobbing. He hasn't been slurring his words at all. No slurred speech. Eyes don't really look bloodshot. He's not really confused. He knows, you know, his whole timeline from yesterday to today. Said he was drinking liquor because he had a cold, and that would be the only thing to kick it. But he thinks his liver shot because of a few drinks and he's blacked out. And then I said, "Well, how much have you had to drink today?" And then he's, you know, said, "Oh, I just kind of sipped on what I had left from yesterday." Said he drove up to the office to kind of meet with Kelton, and then ended up not meeting with anybody and just got in the car and was headed home. He said he was going to sit down and try to think about it. He's got blue jeans on and a combat shirt. His firearm's in the passenger seat. He didn't have it on him when I stopped him. I asked him where it was. He said it's over there. I took a knife, his phone off of him. He's got his wallet still in his left back pocket, and his AirPods and his Bluetooth headsets in his front left pocket. Here's his license. You ready? Phone and knife on the hood of my car. Come on, brother.
All right.
Corporal Rodes receives an unlawful stop, excellent safety, professional communication, and outstanding handling of a sensitive situation. No significant issues. Travis Weldon receives a B+, full cooperation. Honest admissions, no resistance. However, driving a department vehicle while possibly impaired and serious prior allegations remain major concerns. Griffin PD receives a C good coordination and quick termination, but hiring and retaining Weldon despite known alcohol history and prior discipline shows clear gaps in screening and supervision.
Stand right there. Just face your car.
I haven't received this one that yet.
All right. Double lock those.
Yeah.
See?
Thank you. Yeah, Hemphill bought them for me before all that happened.
Somebody
Here you go.
at who's this over here?
Yeah, he's just filming.
Who's this over here?
He's just filming. He's been filming the whole time.
Okay.
Here you go. You got the key fob stump?
I don't.
Yeah, you got to press the little trunk button on it. What you need me to carry?
Enough. And make sure you don't have a rifle back there. Most of the weapons.
Just this axe. That's about it.
Yep.
What I'm wondering is,
I'm looking in this rigid box just to be sure.
Key lessons from this incident. Departments must rigorously screen and monitor officers with prior alcohol-related offenses. Personal alcohol use can quickly destroy careers, and public trust, even off-duty behavior, affects on-duty performance. Honesty during investigations helps, but prevention through strict policy enforcement and early intervention is critical. Agencies should never allow marked vehicles to be driven by potentially impaired officers. Professional interagency support, as shown by Zebulon PD, upholds accountability regardless of rank or badge. Weldon was terminated and now faces felony charges related to the previous night's events. The traffic stop itself was handled flawlessly by Zebulon PD.